around the table. We cannot do full reviews because there will be not enough time, obviously. But we can have a bit of brief critique or something like that.
That's the introduction.
That's, I think.
Right, hi guys. Very happy to be here with you. Congratulations on picking that topic. I think it's awesome. At least I thought so. My story begins maybe in 2017 when crowdfunding became popular. There was a very famous singer, Amanda Palmer, and she got signed by a major label, and like she was very niche. She was doing like punk rock, theater something, and she sold 10,000 records, and she thought like, that's amazing, and her label was like, oh, that's a big failure, you're fired. And she was like, ah, fuck, what I'm, sorry, but I have to watch my language a little bit better. And then she went to crowdfunding. And like, do you all know what crowdfunding is? Like Kickstarter, GameFound, Indiegogo. Basically, you present your idea and said like, yeah, I don't have the money, but I would like to do this, that. And that was what Amanda Palmer did. She said like, I want to do music revolutionary. Like, an artist that would encourage its fans. Gigantic success. And she collected that money from executives to go on tour. And she has a very good TED Talk, like you might want to check it out. And I've always thought like, that's fantastic. If you have an idea that you are really passionate about, but you don't have the money, you can do crowdfunding. So I always wanted to do crowdfunding. As a German, I also grew up with board games. So we played a lot of board games when I was with my family, and then university came around and I stopped playing, but then I got a roommate. He was a huge board game nerd. He came with all his boxes, and 20 something, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then I got back into the hobby, and then a couple of years later, I was unhappy with my job situation, and I told my beautiful wife, you know what, I'm gonna quit my position, I'm gonna make a board game. And she was like, oh God, okay, good luck. On Kickstarter in 2020, and kickstarted it and did a second iteration of it, and now did a third iteration. It became the most successful indie German board game over the years, and like, you definitely can make a living out of it. People love to play. Like, you might have heard of Albert Einstein. It's like a famous German, and he said something that I really love, and he said like, playing is the highest form of research. And I think that's true. I think we learn through playing. I think like developing anything from being apes to like going upright, like maybe that all was developed by playing something. So I think like children learn through playing better than anything else. So I really think there is value to it. It's not what some people might think, yeah, you are playing something, or it's just a game or something. I think it's really valuable. Plus, today, with crowdfunding, all of you, if you have a good idea, if you're really passionate about it, if you make a game that you really love, you have a pretty good chance turning this into like a business or a success, because the beauty is, a game like Uprising 10 years ago would not ever have been possible. If you would go to a like publisher and say like, here's Uprising and it's a cooperative fantasy game like with like 5,000 components and it lasts for 4 hours, they would have said like, you are crazy. Please make it like risk and like reduce everything, and it only can cost like $5. But with crowdfunding, we didn't have to take all these restrictions into account. You can really just make what you want. Plus, you have factories in China that are perfectly, like, they are just waiting for you to come with your idea, and they will be able to, on a like really high quality scale, do whatever you want. So maybe I can take you a little bit through the journey that we did with Uprising, and feel also free to ever like always interrupt me. Like, feel free to raise your hand and ask any questions if I'm too fast or like if you don't understand anything. we started with the premise that we said like, we wanted to make the game that we personally would love the most. And I think that's a key ingredient in like, maybe everything you do, like you should love it. You, like, don't make market research and think like, what's the best theme or what is something that would sell well. Like, just make something that you really love, and I think then you will put your heart and soul and love into it, and then it will just become a quality product, and quality always sells. So we just started in saying, okay, we're gonna make the game that we would love the most. And then we did that for 7 years. So we started to design it and like make cards, and I think that is also critical. If you develop something, try to get it to the board and out of the screen as quickly as possible. Like, I work on a computer for like 8 hours a day, but like the beauty of a board game is that it's offline, and that's another, I think, nice component at it. And I think there will be a market in the future where people want to be away from their screen and want to be together offline with a real product in hand. That also can't that easily be just replicated by an AI. So that's also kind of a protection if you have a real product. Try to bring it to the table as soon as possible. And then also just try to play it and see if it's fun. And it's probably not fun in the very beginning, but it's just an endless iteration. We had something at one point, and then we just started to invite a lot of people. I think that is the next step after you have like your foundation, where you think like, okay, I like this, this is fun, I like it. You will of course be very biased, and people that are very close to you will be biased as well, and they might not give you the critique that you need in a state like that. So what we did, we were in Berlin, and Cornelius had a big flat, and they always had open doors. We always had people, and he's a board gamer as well, so we had a lot of people that we could just bring in to test it, and that was also like crucial because you will learn a lot. It's a little bit like cooking in a way. Like, I often came to the like conclusion that making a board game is like preparing a meal or like making a dish. You make it on your own, you have all these ingredients, you put dice in, you put cards in, you like spice and graphics, and then you present it to your audience. And they will eat it, and you will basically immediately know if they like it, if it tastes good or not. So that's like, that was really, it's hard. Like, we oftentimes then shied away from it, and we were like, oh, we hope they like it. So, but you have to put yourself out there. You have to find strangers that you can test. And what we learned in the beginning is like, we wanted to make a game that is that big. It was like a giant rock. And what happened over the years is like, okay, we have to cut that. Yeah, okay, this is not working. So over the years, like, this giant rock that you will have, that you start with, will just be condensed to something very small. So get accustomed to like, kill your babies, kill your darlings, something. How do they say that, Daniele? Kill your darlings,
Kill your babies. Yeah.
Like, you have to let go. A lot of the things will not work, and then you have to just cut it and let it go and keep the things that are working. So we did that, and that was already then incorporating feedback, playtesting. That's the basis. And when you then want to like crowdfund it, it just becomes more of an online marketing experience, which your digital natives should be easier, like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever. Like, you have to market it, and therefore it needs to look good. So if you want to go the crowdfunding route, you need to have a product that almost looks ready. It doesn't have to be finished, but it needs to look really, really good. And it's tempting to just try to take AI, but at least in the board game sphere, that's still a no-go. Like, people will react to that very badly, but you can just use it for prototyping. You can just use it to mock something up, find a frame, like proper design. Like these tools are like very, very good in doing something. Or just take your favorite board games, make a collage, and like make an adaptation. It just from that point it splits into so many different routes. Marketing is one thing, the other thing is production. Finding someone in China that produces your game for like a very fair amount is not that complicated. There are like 100 companies really just waiting for especially that niche that game production is in, and they will give you a quote and it will be surprisingly cheap. Then another thing is like maybe shipment, but that's also easy. You get a container, you can bring it in. There are companies that are specialized in fulfillment, and then you just have like your crowdfunding campaign where you just have to present it. But yeah, that's the marketing aspect of things.
I opened it.
Yeah.
By the way, so
Yeah, that's our very old Kickstarter. You should go to GameFound.
yeah, the new one. Yeah, but I wanted, because you started from the beginning, I wanted to go to the first and also see this, for example, right? I think here, this image was the beginning of the campaign, right? So when, as you said, not everything was ready.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want like to have a dedicated, like how do I crowdfund, we might just have a different session on that. It's just like there are so many little things that go into that, but yeah. In the end, like it becomes an online marketing endeavor, and therefore it just has to look good. So the two ingredients is it needs to be a good game. You should love it. You should like really like love it, and then the other thing is you need to make it look good. There are so many YouTube and board game influencers over all the channels, and when they like your game, therefore again it has to look good because they get like 100 games a day, so you want or you would like to stand out. But if they like it, they will review it for you most of the time for free. And if it's a good product and they like it, that was absolutely huge for us.
Okay, I was just scrolling for
Yeah,
content.
and I think that's it. I think like
Maybe,
please
I don't know,
ask me
something-
anything.
Yeah, maybe something about the also like choice of components and production in that sense. For example, like how did you decided to go for like some plastic miniature? I see, but some are, for example, 2D. So like also, what was that kind of bargain of like deciding what do I want into miniature, what do I want into wood, plastic token, cards, size of cards. Maybe that can be also something to...
In the end, that goes back to like our premise that we said we wanted to make the game that we love the most, and like we love it the most. We played Uprising, I don't know, 2,000 times. So we made it for us, and we wanted the best component quality possible. So it was not that much about the price, but what's the best material that we can get? What's the best cardstock? What's the best components? And there are like so many options for everything that you can do. Yeah, we just wanted the best because we wanted to play it ourselves.
Sure. But, any questions that you have? Any tips that you would like to get? Like,
how did you decide the visual illustrations like on the box? It's insanely good. Like, how did you come up with the characters, the design?
Yeah, I'm a graphic designer, so and like I played D&D when I was young, so that's my old world that we were just using for like as the backdrop. I bought myself a Wacom, and then I started to design it, and then we were just looking for artists that we could give it, or I could give it to, and said like, please make it look good, because like it didn't look that good. But finding an artist, just go on ArtStation. Go on ArtStation, find 100 artists that you like, write to all of them if they are open to commissions, and 80 will not get back to you, but like 20 will. 15 of them will be too expensive. Like something like that will cost you probably $3,000. Something like that will cost you $1,000. But you can also get it for 200. Or like 150, maybe, if you find like a good artist. It's really complicated, but like we were on a budget. We did not have like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think we invested around like 60 or 70,000 from our own pocket to get everything going. But like this is also massive. We are also stupid. You know, people told us in the beginning, "I want to kickstart a game." You know, start small. Make like a little card game. We're like, no, we're gonna make like this opera thing. So like it's not comparable, but yeah, this is how we did art design. Like luckily I could do Photoshop. It's still like if you want to learn Photoshop, it's easy. Also like the AI can teach you. Like just open ChatGPT and tell them like, okay, teach me Photoshop. Open Photoshop, here, this is what I do. Like I learned Blender. Blender is like the most complicated 3D program because at one point for our campaign page we needed like, we want to render a box nicely. And I used like a crappy online program for it. And the day that we had to give GameFound, because we were part of a presentation, we had to give them all our promo materials. In the morning, like, okay, I need to download the things that I did. And then that site just went offline. And okay, I have 24 hours, guess I have to learn Blender. You can do it. Like you can learn Photoshop, you can learn Blender, you can learn everything. Like there's no limit. Does that answer your question?
Yes,
Okay.
Thank you.
I was going to ask, how did you decide what form each aspect of the game would take? For example, like, how did you decide, oh, okay, this should be played as a card, this should be played as a token? Like, how do you decide what form of things it needs?
I think experience.
Okay.
You know, like, did you play games or do you have some experience? Are you playing board games? Like, because oftentimes things are obvious, right? Like a card is always great. So I think it's intuition for most of the times, because of course we did not invent the wheel. We did not start at nothing. We were like, okay, we like this part about this game, or we like this part about that game. And I think that's totally valid. Like a dice is a perfect component. A card is a perfect component. Like a board is a perfect component. Everybody uses that. I think it's always totally fine to take things that work in other games and like use them or reinvent them. But like, how did we really decide it? Yeah, I think it was like intuition or like preference. Like we want dice, we made it around it. Also theme. I think some people try to design a game based on mechanics. We started with a theme. We said like, okay, it's my old fantasy world, and we want to have these factions, and like we want to have this. How can we make the theme come alive? The other way would be like, okay, I want to make a card game. What theme would I want to take on? Maybe this is also like an interplay between these two things.
Any other question?
Did you most of those covers by yourself?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it hard?
Yeah. we drove like our Chinese manufacturer crazy. But yeah, I mean, like everything can start with a black and white drawing. You don't need to know anything. You also don't need to know anything about board game design. We never designed a board game. We never did crowdfund anything. We never did online marketing anything. We never shipped something in like 100 countries. Like there's no barrier of entry into the market because it's so small, and that's so beautiful. Like we make the best standees in the world. Like that's unimaginable to me that you can come into an industry and set a standard. but it's so young still, or so like new that you can. I think you can do marvelous things. But of course, I'm also a German perfectionist. Like, no, that's not perfect. Like, we have to go back. So for some of these components, we had to like iterate them 10 times. But like the Chinese are very patient. You know, they will exactly do what you ask them to do. So I found it incredibly easy with them to work, and they can just make stuff. Like, there seemed to be no barrier for them.
Was China your first choice?
No, we talked to everyone. Like, we talked to manufacturers from Europe and from America, and it would also be like our initial instinct to go with them. The problem is they could not give us the quality. It was not even about the price. We are not going to China because it's like cheaper, but it's the quality. Like, companies in Germany could not match the quality. It was not the price, it was the quality.
I was showing the components for the one who doesn't see it up close.
Can I ask you something?
Absolutely.
I'm just curious about the design on the board. Like, how did the illustrator, like you, come up with this idea? Because, okay, this is a board game and it tells stuff, but what should we put on this packaging?
Mm-hmm.
Is what I was wondering. Like the idea behind the design about the packaging.
It's tough, you know, like there's no recipe for it. It's probably, again, intuition.
It makes us think about, like, what do we do with the packaging? Like, what should we design on it? What should we put on it? Like a storytelling illustration or something, another. So I wanted to ask you about the journey.
I mean, for us, the journey was always clear. You know, like, I don't know, I had a very clear vision for it, so it was not difficult for me to bring it into life. But I probably would then, in your case, just collect images. You know, go to Pinterest and like collect images that you really like, or that like give something like a vibe. Collect them and try to start from there. Even like put them in one file, put them into ChatGPT and say like, create a board game box art cover for me, or like discuss with it like where you want to go. I think for like IEU or like finding ideas or finding the right theme for it. Like for us, we started with theme, so I think having the theme or having a strong theme idea in the beginning, like, you know, if you have something like Animal Olympics, like that will give you an image in your mind, and I think that is good. Like your title or the game, the name of your game should maybe immediately invoke a picture in your mind. Maybe that's a good way to go from there. I don't know if that answers your question fully.
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, I think, I mean, when you say like instinct, as you were saying, is also experience, the knowledge. So like, I don't know, correct me if I go off course, let's say, but like when I see this kind of construction of an illustration, I have an idea of a certain epic kind of environment, right? And if you think about it, I mean, there are games, obviously, that do exactly the same thing, if I remember properly, even not recent games, like the original Hero Quest, with a similar kind of approach. You bring hero into the scene, if Ellen loads, and not only, so this kind of approach, but not only, if you think of, I don't know, movies.
A Marvel movie. A Marvel movie.
Marvel movie, exactly. Let's put just Marvel movie poster, and let's see what comes out.
Yeah.
you see that there is kind of a genre of presenting an epic story. So that's hero kind of environment. So like that, I think, does refer to the genre and communicates in certain way. Like this is not going to be an abstract game. This is not going to be like it tells you where to look at, and it's the same thing as I said, like for movies. If you need to make the poster for a movie, you need to understand what movie is this. Where do you want to place it?
Yeah. What if your game was a book? What the book like? Or like I modeled Uprising exactly after a Star Wars movie poster. Basically the exact thing that I did. Yeah, where you always see like different characters, and therefore I just love theme in a game. I think that's cool, or that's the easiest way to like bring your idea across. So I think having a good idea what a book, if your game was a book or a movie, who are the heroes, and then just show that. Probably every movie does that, right? Or every book has like the main protagonist, which will be then presented by the players. Maybe that's a way to do it.
That was very good, thank you.
Is it available in Turkey? Like, do you sell it anywhere?
No. Like, the beauty of crowdfunding is that the benefit is you don't have to go to a distributor. If you want your game to be sold at Gourmet doesn't sell games, but like it's the only chain that comes to mind. Let's say you want to be in like a shop. You basically have to give half your profit to that shop. And Uprising is so expensive to make that like it's just too expensive. It would cost like $500 in the shop, because we can't sell it for like, I don't know, 20, 30 bucks to like a shop. So but that's also the beauty, because with crowdfunding you have a direct to consumer relationship. So we had 3,000 backers the first time. So we did exactly 3,000 games. It's perfect. Like you don't have any hassle afterwards. You have enough hassle in all the between, but afterwards like distribution and like marketing, and you need to place it somewhere, and I think it's perfect.
Even storage.
Huh?
Even storage, traditionally for a editor, like book editor or game editor, when you produce a lot, and if you don't sell, it's in a storage, and even that is a cost. So I think the possibility to choose, I need to do the right amount of copies. It's
Just in a normal traditional, like that's what I love crowdfunding so much, because it's so anti-capitalistic in a way. Like every company out there will try to produce something that they can sell to 1 million people, and they want to produce it for a cent. And the quality will most probably be shit. Using that word because it's the truth. And crowdfunding
reflecting that. But it's the same concept.
And crowdfunding is basically the exact opposite. You make something that is really expensive and sells to only a very small group, and these people will give you the money in advance. It should not be possible, but I think that's the beauty, or that's the magic of it. Like it's very counterintuitive for the system that we are living in.
Any other questions?
And how is it with copyrights, or like when you?
Who cares? If someone wants to come and copy it, I'm working on something else. Like, have at it. Like, I don't care. Like,
Cool.
I think we are, like we take inspiration from everything, a tree, you, like whatever it is, right? And I don't have the right to say like, this inspiration that you sparked in me is mine now, and I put a stamp on it and nobody can use it. If somebody feels inspired by Uprising and want to do a game that looks the same and does the same good luck. Like, I don't care about uprising copyright. I think copyright is outdated in a time where everything is like we are meshing everything anyway, music, movies, data.
There was Leonardo Sonnoli, who is this important graphic designer, who was telling like, if someone is copying you, just be happy you're the one in the front, you're not the one in the back. You don't need to be particularly worried. It's just a recognition somehow. Actually, if they copy from you, then it means that you're doing a good job.
I don't think it's a concern. If you want to go on Amazon, if you want to sell via Amazon, okay, then you need to have a trademark, and like, I'm sure that like, if this was a different company, if it wasn't just me and my friends, and we had like 100 people, all of this would look different. But I'm very happy to have a very small company with friends, and I don't want to, talk to lawyers about copyright. I'm not worried about that. Like, if someone wants to copy it, like, go ahead. We are copying everything all the time, so.
So, but the name is protected, or no? Okay.
I think there's other games that
Okay.
name Uprising. Like, good on them. It's a good name. Like, there should be more uprisings. I hope there will be more uprisings.
Any other question? Okay, then maybe we can start with the reviews of your work.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you
If you have
for
any
coming.
questions, just come to me. Like, I'm happy to answer you everything. And good luck. I think it's, again, like, I think gaming is fantastic. You have, like, I think it's a very young market. There are no barriers to entry. If you have a really good idea, if you really have a good game, like, just try it. What can go wrong? Like, the investment might be time, but it might also be like a living, or at least like a job, or like an experience. Like, we loved our experience with it. Like, the board gaming industry is absolutely fantastic. It's people from all ages, from all genders. Like, it's a really nice space. I was in other industries before. No industry is as nice as the board gaming sphere, like, I think. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. Then, how do we do this review? Because obviously we will not have time to do everyone. So